Scott's ultimate 11 Celtic players that he has played with.
He was strong, he was great on the ball, and he hurt everybody around him.
He's probably one of the only players who tucks his shirt in his shorts.
It's amazing, eh?
His arms go faster than his legs.
It's amazing. Really... He's rapid, right? But he's got the worst technique of running. 90% of the time he just kept like moving his hips, getting out the ball, and we were like, oh, this could be a long day today.
So it's time for another Ultimate 11, and this time Tim and I are joined by Scott Brown, and so it's going to be Scott's Ultimate 11 Celtic players that he has played with. And we're going to get a manager in the end there as well. So, Scott, first of all, I imagine this is really hard. I bet there's loads.
I think the manager one's the hardest one out of them all, to be perfectly honest.
Only Gyla, surely.
Is there a story here?
No, carry on.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, there's no story.
Okay.
No, yeah.
I thought there was like a secret thing here. Okay, right. Let's start in goal.
In goal, it's a hard one because I played with Arthur Boric right at the start, and then I played with Fraser and Craigie, and the three of them were exceptional. Craigie's still playing now, and so is Fraser. But I think I have to go Fraser, just because when he played Barcelona at home, he was a joke. When he played Barcelona away, he was unbelievable, and he's won us many cup finals, and that single-handedly. So I'd definitely go Fraser.
He was starting for Tottenham for a while, wasn't he? Recently?
No, last season.
Last season.
When Lloris was injured.
Yeah.
Vicario's come in there now and done a brilliant job. It's brilliant. What a gig, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a gig, being a goalkeeper. I mean, you can play, you can go till you're 45, just picking up loads of readies.
Scott Carson?
Just by keeping fit.
Especially if you're English as well, playing in the English Premier League.
Scott was a great example. Not only that,
Two Champions League winners.
You've got the other
It's
Arsenal
amazing.
man as well there.
Yeah, we've Stefan Ortega is the backup.
He's coaching there as well.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, what a gig. I want
if
to
you come back, I was going to say, what be a goalie?
Yeah.
You can play to your 45.
Yeah. I just don't want the early part, when you're a kid, when you're freezing cold, just stand there like that.
Now.
Yeah.
My son's 6 and he plays in goal.
Yeah, get
Every
him
week
out,
he's
get him
freezing.
out of that.
Not too sure about diving, saving, taking one.
It's all changed now, though. Even at kids' level, they're playing at 4 years old and they're telling them to play out from the back. The goalie has to be out to use his feet. What a load of noise.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't use my hands, but I'd be all right with the feet.
It keeps them warm, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, Fraser.
I'm going to go
Forster.
4-2-3-1.
Hold on, wait, there we are. 4-2-3-1, because that's your preferred formation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I've got a team of pressers, but I've got a good team here.
That's all right. We'll trust you. So, back four.
Back four, I'll go right back. Easy, Lustig. Mikael Lustig was at Celtic with me for 6-7 seasons. Great lad. Scandinavian boy, comes in. He had probably the worst gear, worst hairdo, terrible tattoos all dotted all over his body. And the first day he came in, he was terrible. Like, so bad. And I went to Lenny, who's this guy? And he was like, honestly, Bruni, he'll get good. And see, since then, he got better and better, and he actually cruised it. He could play centre half, right back. He was vocal. He had good chat and good banter in the dressing room as well. But he was a top player as well. He wanted to win games. So Lusto's definitely getting him as my right back.
And I imagine the centre back is one of them at least is very easy to decide.
Would you say Virg?
Oh, go on then, shall we?
I think you have to.
All right, 75 million.
Right, that's easy.
We'll throw Virgil in.
Done. Who partners with him?
It's hard because Boyata was exceptional. As in, you want to play a high line, you play Boyata. But the other one that played with me at Scotland and Celtic is Callum McGregor, and he had a wand at left foot. And to build up for the back, I'd probably go his left foot on the left-hand side instead of Boyata being on his wrong side. So I'd prefer probably Charlie on that left-hand side playing centre-half.
We might have to make the team.
We might have to drop that wee bit deeper because Charlie's not the quickest, shall I say, but he was, honestly, his left foot was a wand. It was a wand. The left back picks itself. Okay. Kieran Tierney.
Yep.
Brilliant. He came through when I was helping out at the 21s. He was just exceptional at the time. His energy going forward, his love for the club as well, his desire to go and put the ball in the box, but also to get back, and he loved a tackle. And it's going out the game a little bit more than what it probably has, but he would put his body on the line for anyone.
I'll tell you why he's unique. He's probably one of the only players who tucks his shirt in his shorts.
It's amazing, eh?
Yeah.
Rodri does that as well. I like it. Does he?
Does
He tucks
Rodri do it?
in.
Tucks
yeah.
it in. Yeah.
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 He's good. He's like old school that way. He's proper. He goes out, he just plays, enjoys football, and
Do you think his mum says, if you don't, you make
you're
sure
gonna
you
get a
tuck
wee
your
slap
shirt?
across the
Yeah.
back of the head. Make sure you look neat and tidy, please.
Yeah,
Prim and proper. That'll be you.
Yes, I'm with her. Go on, Kieran. Okay, so that's your goalkeeper and your back four. Then we're doing a 2.
I think my two, they kind of picked themselves. Victor Wanyama, played with him. He was an animal, to be perfectly honest. He was strong. He was great on the ball, and he hurt everybody around him. Whether it was the players that he played with in training, he had these elbows that were sharp, that were strong. He ran that way instead of running normal, just to try and hurt people. But technically, he was very good at what he done. He would hold on the ball. He wanted to drive forward, but he could also sit and break play up as well. And it was a great find for Lenny as well, how we brought him in, because when we first came in, we thought he was a centre half. But then we realised he wasn't, very, very quickly, because he wanted to go forward, he wanted to drive with the ball. And what made it worse, he was coming from our position. So I was trying to get Lenny to play him as a centre back. But no, he's a great lad, and he went on to Spurs as well, and he played at Southampton, then went to Spurs, and I don't know what you think of him, but at the time at Celtic, he was really, really good.
Well, we scouted him. And I remember coming and have a look at him, and it's difficult when you're looking at, like I said, mentioned about Virgil, he's not tested against competition. When a midfield player is a little bit different, because you can see the attributes, what they have, and I mean, you take the ball back to goal, and he sits into people, you know, it's a bit like Moussa Dembele, but with different, you know, if you get the ball off him, you have to foul him. And then he would get on the half turn, he would drive through holes, you know, everyone talks about breaking lines of passes, he would do that with movement and dribbling skills, and he was super strong, and he would get forward, and he looked like he really enjoyed playing, and he had a good personality. He looked like he was smiling all the time. Yeah,
happiest lad in the world. We played Juventus at home, and Pirlo was playing, and our whole tactic was like to try and get Victor on top of Pirlo. So Buffon's taking a goal kick, Pirlo's at the edge of the box, and Buffon's gone, and he's like looking, going, give me the ball, and he's just like chuck, got away. And our whole game plan was, every time they wanted to take a goal kick, let the big man go and cement. 90% of the time he just kept like moving his hips, getting out the ball, and we were like, oh, this could be a long day today. That was Pirlo at the end of his career as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. So who partners him?
Callum McGregor.
Lovely.
Yeah, my wee mate. He's got great energy, and I mean, he is the ultimate professional. Goes to his bed at 9:30 every night, turns his phone off.
Good. Gets
his cell switched. You talk about De Bruyne. Doesn't drink, make sure he's focused, he's ready to go. And his whole entire life focus at this moment in time is about football.
Good.
Don't
lad. You try and distract him.
No,
okay,
I showed him what not to do, and he's learned.
That's it.
Okay, so then we're moving forward. So
this is a problem.
Oh, have you got options?
I've got too many options.
All right.
I like options, though.
Okay, that's good.
I'll help you with this.
Right, who are you saying? Nakamura or Aidan McGeady? There you go.
McGeady.
Naka was a joke. Naka
McGeady more goals?
Naka more free kicks. Aidan technically was a joke going forward. Unbelievable. Naka's left foot was a wand. And dead ball situations was a disgrace.
You're leaning to Naka. I can
but
see it.
Naka was like, when I first came through, Naka was... he had a lad with him, an interpreter called Maka. So it was Naka and Maka. And he used to put him in goals and just hit free kicks. And Maka used to run and get the balls and throw them back to him, then go again. But Naka...
4'7", the fella.
Oh, Naka looked unbelievable. It was penalties, but he thought it was free kicks he was hitting. But Naka could keep the ball off you in a phone box. His touch and his ability was next to none. But then, see, straight after we went into a game for 90 minutes, all the Scottish lads are thinking, how can we get out and where are we going to go tonight? We've got Saturday to Saturday off. Naka's up the gym stretching, doing extras, and we're like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah.
So he was the first one that I really seen going to the next level. So that's where I probably would go to Naka, because we started to learn off players when you're a young lad. And Naka, I thought Naka was coming to the end of his career when he was at us. He was 28, 29. He just retired last month at 44 or 45.
Really?
So he outlasted me by a long time.
Wow.
There's a reason for it.
That's why. So he looked after himself so well. So that's probably the reason.
We've got to give it to him
I'm
on the
gonna give it
sacrifices rather.
just that.
Aidan would have had a good time.
I could tell you, me and Aidan had a right good time. Aidan was a great lad as well.
He's had his rewards.
Aidan went over to Russia and had a great career as well. And technically, Aidan's like quick feet, sharp feet, over 5'6" sharp all the time.
Yeah.
But I'd probably just have to.
Yeah, let's give it Naka.
Naka.
Okay, you got 2 other spots, and then you got one.
I'm going to go the winger, Jamesy Forrest, because he's scored over 100 goals for the club.
Longest arms in the world, isn't he?
James runs that way. Honestly, there was a wee meme floating about that somebody left their clothes.
Yeah, mate.
That's it.
His arms go faster than his legs.
It's amazing.
Really...
He's rapid, right? But he's got the worst technique of running you've ever seen. But he's so sharp over 5-10 yards.
Yeah.
He gets away from people. Every time you watch him, you just think it's getting worse.
Wow.
His arms start to like run that way, but it's so effective to what he does. And he's low centre of gravity. He nicks away. He's scored 100 goals. He's got over 100 assists for the club, and I think there's only 2 other players that's ever done it.
Wow.
So for Jamesy to be there and thereabout, he's got to be in it.
Yeah.
Right, you got two spots left. You got 1 for your 3, and then you got your 1 up top.
Hodgson or Robbie Keane. I played with Robbie for 6 months, right? And Robbie's movement was exceptional. To drop shot, to go in behind was brilliant. His touch and his awareness was exceptional, and I enjoyed playing with Robbie. Hodgson, Musa, we played in a first game of the season. It was a bounce game. We were on pre-season before Musa left, and we never played 4-4-2 ever under Brendan. It was always 4-2-3-1. But it was like, we're going to go 4-4-2, just a little bit old school, get these 2 up top. It was a disgrace. It was so good. We were just firing balls in. They were like, boom, playing off each other. Like, this could work. Then 2 weeks later, Musa was away. We were devastated. But it was like, we had those 2. Musa was brilliant. Like, was a young kid. We were lucky enough because the cross-bound border, I think we paid 500 grand for him. And if he wanted to go to anyone else in England, it was 5-6 million. And nobody wanted to take that hit on a young lad. So Brendan's done brilliant signing him. He's came up and his body's like shredded at 12-pack, you name it. He's never been to the gym. He's 17-year-old. He's so strong. And his touch and awareness was brilliant. So I think up top, I'm going to give Moose.
Okay. Then you've got 1 spot left.
Robbie or Hodgson in the pocket.
What would you do?
I don't know Hodgson. I know Robbie. Yeah, I mean, Robbie gets in most people's team.
I have to give it to Robbie for his movement.
Could Hodgson score that many goals
in the Premier League?
The Prem? You don't know.
We'll find out
hypothetical.
in time. I'm going to have to give it to Robbie.
Okay. I
am going to have to give it to Robbie just for his movement and his quality, and playing at Liverpool, Spurs throughout his whole career, going over to Inter Milan as well. So you've got to give it to him. Hodson's still young, playing at Crystal Palace. He's still kind of going through, not the motions, but still got a long way to go. But at the time, Robbie was like a top quality player, and we were lucky enough to have him for 6 months. I think he came and scored about 16, 17 goals for us in that short period of time, and it was good to have that person to look up to when not a lot of us have ever played with somebody probably with that quality, and it was good to see where we wanted to get to.
I don't know if Robbie's ever been to a club where the fans don't like him.
Yeah.
Says everything.
Yeah.
Because when you're a fan, you just want to see it.
You want to see a celebration.
You want to see a play. You want to see a player. You want to see a player on there who's giving everything for the shirt, and I think he does that. But he gives it a lot more than that because it's not just running.
He's got
around.
flair. He's got
amazing quality.
Yeah,
and he's not quick.
It's amazing that, right? See his movement, right? Even when we played a charity match and Robbie was done, but he still thought, like, give me a wee chance. I can, and even just 3-4 yards, he would bring the defender in. Then his sharpness to get in behind, and he was finished for about a year. But he still thought, and his movement was catching like first team players out.
Yeah,
it was brilliant.
His movement, timing of his movement. You know, and for a midfield player, it was easy to play with, wasn't he?
Oh, you knew what he was doing.
You get your head up, and he's
as soon as he came short, you know he was going in behind, and you knew 9 times out of 10 he was going to get that ball and hit the target.
Yeah,
and that
he has to be in. Got to be.
So you've gone James, Keane, Naka, and Musa.
It's not a bad front four.
It's going to score some goals.
It's going to score. I'm not sure how much Naka's going to press the game. If I'm being honest, Naka was lovely on the eye and would do his bit, but that's maybe not a high press in that team.
Who's your manager?
That's the hardest one. I was talking about that earlier. So I've got Brendan, I've got Gordon, and I've got Lenny, and I speak to them all the time. And when I was at Fleetwood, I would phone them and ask for advice. And Brendan going back to Celtic's huge. I don't know.
Give it Ronnie.
You're going with this Ronnie one, eh? Tony as well.
Oh, Tony, yeah.
Tony.
Not long enough.
Aye, it was.
Oh, how long?
Too long.
So are you gonna just have a 3-man coaching
Could I have like a
setup?
coaching staff?
Yeah.
So I'll have like Brendan, Lenny and Gordon, like the 3.
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm going to go Gordon, right? Because Gordon was...
You could have said I have the ginger one. Keep people guessing.
Gordon was the one that was foolish enough to sign me. So Gordon's got to deal with that. And he's got to deal with that team.
I'm sure Gordon's very proud of that.
They're all legends, by the way.
To be fair, all 3 of them are unbelievable.
Yeah.
And like even speaking to them now, they've got so much time for their ex-players and all that. It's brilliant. Even Lenny, when Lenny speaks to Gordon, he still calls him Gaffer.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And I'll go and speak to Lenny, I'm like, right, Gaffer.
Yeah.
See that when people come on the
It's
podcast.
all the time. Even like Brendan now, I seen Brendan the other day, I was like, Gaffer, how you doing? He's like, Brownie, how are you? Yeah. So, it's good. It's respect for each other and having to play the game as well. And I'm sure if you've seen your old managers, you do the exact same. Call King Kenny.
Sir, we'll call him.
So,
With a bow.
Okay.
Otherwise, he doesn't answer you.
Thank you, Scott Brown. That is Scott Brown's Ultimate Celtic 11.